50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission to the moon all week. Here in D.C., the National Air and Space Museum hosted several tributes, including one of the astronauts from the mission. Our own Matt Gregory sat down with Michael Collins inside the museum to get an inside look at the journey to the moon and back.
Hey, Reese, when it comes to Apollo 11, we think of the two men who landed on the moon, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong. And sometimes overlooked is the man whose role was crucial in getting to the moon and coming home, Michael Collins. Was there anything special you felt because of the 50-year anniversary?
It's hard to feel 50 years. How would you go about feeling it?
What was it like flying in space, so to speak?
Well, going to the moon that couple of days to get there, we didn't see the Earth, we didn't see the moon until because we were just circling around sideways like a chicken on a barbecue.
What was the first thing you thought when you're up close, you've turned the spacecraft around to look at it?
Thought, my God, look at that thing. The sun was cascading around its rim and gave it a wonderful lighting situation. It made the craters look darker and the light part look lighter, and wow. Was it at all nerve-wracking thinking about them going down and then coming back up? So I wasn't worried about the descent and the landing nearly as much as I was about their return. If that engine didn't ignite, there were two dead men on the moon, and there was nothing I could do about it. I didn't have any landing gear on my spacecraft, Columbia. I couldn't go down and help them, so that was just part of the flaw in the planning. But it was a risk that we didn't know how to work around, and we were willing to accept.
What do you think should happen next for the space program in the United States?
Well, I'm a firm believer in taking advantage of what John F. Kennedy gave us on Apollo, which was a masterpiece of simplicity. He told us what to do, and he told us when to do it, and then we had to fill in the how to do it. And I'd like to take that same approach to Mars, and I'd like for us to go to what I would call the JFK Mars Direct mission.
A few other interesting notes. Collins has a long history here in the district. He went to high school at St. Albans.
Yeah!
And I knew you'd like that.
He went to St. Albans?
Yeah.
Oh, snap! That's my
is.
man. That was the best interview I've seen on the show so far.
I told you. You know, I told him you went there too.
Yeah.
He wasn't that excited. He was the first director of the Air and Space Museum. We have much more from this interview coming up on WSA9.com. And coming up tonight, what does Collins think of the possibility of life outside of our planet? You're going to want to hear that next, Reese.
I'm going to call Buzz Aldrin to pull up on him.